you can see the insert operations is affected. Thereby, we will verify how the records are going to be stored up. So now you can see all the 4 records what we were thinking of was given. So let us bring back this to our worksheet for future reference. Then in the same model, let us take up some more records for clear understanding of what we have to do with these joins, etc. as a basic primitives. So now we will take up one more table here, that is my students 2, and then we are working in this model. So we take the same integer values and names with Vijaya, Jansi, Sana, Varshini, and 52, 92, 93, 90, 54. So as a whole, now we can execute this. So I'm hitting on the run button. Table was created. Then 4 records are going to be inserted. Then we will see how the record it is going to take up. So now you can see all the four rows are part of the relation here. Now we taken up the table number 1. We taken up table number 2. Now we will look into these options first here. Then this will gives us a glimpse of what was the intention of taking up this work here. Okay, so now I will bring the data set again here for understanding. Now one was the record set 1, other it is record set 2. So I will check whether the font can be enlarged. So yeah, font is going to get enlarged. Yeah, now we'll imprint with some examples here. So record set 1, it is given. Now what will be the operation when we are going to make up a union as at this point? So we have 2 sets, right? We have 2 sets, my student 1, my student 2. Then 552 and 552 are common here, so I can put in the common area. Then 592 and 592 are common, so I can put this in the common area. And 506 is exclusively in my student 1, and 543 is exclusively in 50 in my set 1. Similarly, 592 and 593 is going to be exclusively in my student 2, and 554 it is also at this part. So that is how we are going to bring up this values. So we are drawing up the relation here. It is 593. It is 593 here. Now we are mentioning with the union operator. So when we are going to use up the union operator, now we can say 552 and 592 should arise, because this is the common area. But when we are going to put it as union all, now here we will be getting unique, or we will be getting the distinct values. But here in union all, we will get the duplicates, that is occurrence in both my student 1 and my student 2. So at this case, we should assume 552, 552, then again 592 and 592 will arise. Assume if we are going to use the intersect operation. So this we mentioned it as A union B, A union B and all. So all is the reserved word here. Now we are mentioning excuse me, so this went off. So this is give me a chance. I have to correct this scenario. It's my mistake. So we will bring up with union A union B, that is MS1 union MS2. So we will be getting 506, 543, 552, 592, 593 and 554. So total we will be getting the 2 which is common and 2 total we will be getting the 6 instances. But what if I'm going to use union null? So at this case 552 and 552 will be repeated for 2 times, and similarly 592 and 592 will be repeated for 2 times. So in this way we are going to get the duplicate set. So this is the duplicate set what we mentioned. If we are going to use the intersect concept, then we will be getting MS1 intersection MS2. So at this case what we use was we will pick only the values which are in the common area of MS1 and MS2. So only these 2 values we will be getting 552 and 592. Similarly, if I am making A minus B, so that means if it is A minus B, only the elements in A, not in B, not common in the A and B. So obviously we will have only 506 and 543 at this case between MS1 minus MS2, right? So we will work on these options towards taking up these 4 commands and see how it goes. Okay, so we'll bring up the databases to have further references. So we'll hit on the run button. Now at this part we have to make you clear that we have multiple queries. So this is query number 1 and query number 2. Between that we are going to use a union here. Okay, so now we get the union elements here. We get the union elements here. So what are the union elements? So we get the six content. Okay, so what we mentioned, so we mentioned that we should get 6 records, so we got all those 6 records. Now let us say what happens if it is union all. So we will verify it. What happens if it is going with union all? So union all, it is bringing up the 8 rows. It is going to bring up the 8 rows. So with this 8 rows, you can have a clear-cut distinction that 52 and 92, there will be a duplicates. 52, 52, 92, 92. So these 4 are repeated twice. These 4, they are repeated 2 times. Reason, we are using union all. Reason, we are using union all. Now see what happens if we take up this as INTRSECT intersect. So hitting on the run button to find out the intersecting values. Now the common elements will be only 52 and 92. So these two records are going to occur as at this place. Similarly, what we are expecting, we should get 506 and 543. Only these two records should come when we use A minus B or my students 1 minus my student 2. So for this demonstration, we will use minus here. So we will use minus and thereby see the answers what it is going to give. So it is giving the Premila's record and Indu's record with the registered numbers 506 and 543. 506 and 543 we mentioned here. Okay. Now let us work with new words called here as the views. So to work with a view, the most important thing was we need to have a create command, and then we are going to have a select command. That means it is working with data definition and it is working with data manipulation. So a view, it is a virtual table here, and it can have the elements which are a part of the main query or etc. So we are creating my view 1 and we are moving the intersected value which was given into this thing, and then we are displaying the view. So let us see how it goes. So let us see how the elements are going to be moved, or how the elements are going to be transformed at this case. So we take up one by one, as it is not permitting me to bring all the lump sum queries at a time. Now create or replace name of the view is my view 1, and then it is telling select star from my view 1 intersect with another one. So let's see how the queue is created here. You are hitting on the run button for view creation. Then as usual the select command, and see how my view 1 is going to have. So the intersected value earlier is dumped into the my view. So select view. So we need a select star from my view 1. So again I had a so we are getting the intersected value, the two elements which are in this point. So we get this. Now let us extend our work that towards another logical inferences to happen with joins, etc. So what we are going to do is we will create one more table called as my student location. So it gives the place where the students are residing. So we will use the same students 6, 52, 43, etc. But the thing was, we will place this table as a separate issue and thereby use to link up table 1 with the link table 2. So that was the foremost way we want to take up this. So we will use these values here, and this was the syntax: create table my student location with student id as an integer and location some varchar2. So now you can see that table was created as of now, and table was created. Now I can insert the elements. I can insert all the elements um as follows. So the table name was my student location. So now hit on the run button to understand how the insert commands are taken up. Then we will use up this my student location here. So my student 1. In this way we are updating our mistakes too, learning from mistakes. Now uh, we'll bring up the table what we have taken up, that is my student location. So total 7 rows are being inserted here. Now okay, so there is one more table called as my student 3 again here. So my student 3 is a table which it is created now. So there we are giving these values. So for that what we will take up was we will take up the values which are from the resultant set 2. So we will use the same commands. We will use the same commands. So my student 3 is a table what now we are going to create. So it does has uh, records, 4 records here. So just see whether it goes my student 3 here. So my student 3, now we are with the insert commands etc. creating my student 3 table. Table was created, then 4 records are inserted. Then my student 3, we will check up whether the data is there or not. Oh god, this is now, let us say it is 3 or 3 here. So we will make an insert operation in my student 3, and thereby we will use up this my student 3, and now we get these records as 4. get these records here as 4. Okay, now let's start. This is my student 3, record set 9. Record set 8 was my student location. Okay, now I want to make cross product. We will have n into m. So we get 1, 2, 3, 4 records cross m is equals to 7. Let us assume, check whether we get 28 rows or not. If we make a cross join operation between the two tables. Just check it out. So you can see here we got 4 records. I'm executing the my student location. It is of 7 records, so 7 4s are 28 should be the value what we say when we work with cross join operation. When we work with cross join up. So now you can see there are 28 rows. So this is an interesting implication. So the drawback here was self loops are going to occur. The drawbacks at this scenario was self loops are going to be raised. So that is the reason why cross product is not so successful as join. So we can say that 28 records are available. Assume there is a triangle here and this is A and this is B and this is C. Now what will happen at this case? This is loop, loop and loop. Okay, we call here as a self loop. So the drawback of cross product or Cartesian product was it has self join or it leads to self loop. So that was really a disruptive feature, putting up the things to itself. So such tuples are available. That was the major drawback which cross products has been rising up. So to eliminate the drawback of cross product, joins are used. So what it does is it removes the duplicates in these tables. So that was the key takeaway why the elements are using the join operation. Now let us bring up a scenario. Let us bring up a scenario for clear understanding. I am having my student table with student location and 593 Tirupati is there, right? So 593 student registered number and she belongs to a place called as Tirupati here. So what we will do is we will remove that record for clear understanding. So we are hitting on the run button to operate the 593. Anyhow, 593 is occurrences was made 2 times. So now just hit on this and see the table whether the delete operation has been affected. Yeah, it is affected. So we have 592, 5954, and this way we are going to have around 5 records. Okay. Now we talked about cross joins. Now let us check it up with the interesting parts, that is natural join. So it is just a equality condition which is putting up into this value. So we take the same command here, and instead of cross join, now we replace it with a natural join. We replace it with a natural join. Now just earlier we have 28 records. Now when we make the natural join, now you can see the natural join, it is taking up, bringing up the rows. I will hit again. I think it is not affected, or for clear understanding. Yeah, we get the 5 rows. We get only the 5 rows as of here. Now we will work with the natural join here. So when we work on this with this natural join, we have taken up these 5 rows. Earlier it is around 28 rows. Now let us put this operation with the left outer join between my students 3 and my students location. Okay, let us put the things between these 2 associates. Now just verify the answers here. To start up with, as we are extending the concepts, to start up with, we are taking with my students 3 and my location, right? So what we will do is we will first take up the table, re-execute it, and for clear understanding we will key the terms here. So my student 3, I am having 4 records. My student 3, I am going to have 3, I am going to have 4 records. Then I will take up the another query, my student location, and find how many records are here. So I can find again 5 items are taken up. That is my student location. Going to have 5 records here. Now we are now applying left outer join between my student and my student location. Comparison was, we have SIDs here and SIDs, so that is the commonality. One SID was in my student and another SID was my student location. So that's the reason why my student 3 and my student location are there, and we make a condition equals to condition. So My student 3, it is 552, 592, 593 and 554 are here. And is 552 available in other? Yeah. Is 592 available there? Yeah. 593, is it available in my student location? No. Therefore, we will have a null value since 593 is not available in my student location. Is 554 available? Yeah, 554 is available. Now take up this task of left outer join, and now bring it here and see how it is going. So we are hitting the run button to execute the content. So now you can see 593 is not available. So null values are going to be placed. Null values are going to be placed. So that's where we get this 593 is null. So that's how we mark the element. Next one was, what if I make this as a right outer join? Next one was, what if I make a right outer join at this place? So if that is a scenario, now check this in this model. Now the item should be in the right hand side, not in the left hand side. Now I have 592, 554, 552, 592 and 554 at this point. That is my student location. Now I will put it as my student 3 here. Is 592 available? Yeah, it is available. 592. 552 available? Yeah, 554 is also available. Yeah. Is 552 available? Yes, 552 is available. Is 592 available? Yes, 592 is also available. Now we don't have any other notations. We don't get so at this case, no null values are printed. No null values are printed since the tuples are matched in both cases. Okay, done. So we'll hit on the run button and see what the thing it is taking up. So now you can see there are only 5 records. The SANA record or 593 record is not there. Okay, so no null values are taken up. So that was the takeaway here. I just want to understand what if the values are with the case. So to have a clear understanding, now we will insert one more value, insert into my student, one more value here, because we need to have the null demo, right? We need to understand null demo. So for that, we want, so one tuple is inserted, one record is inserted, and now just see the thing. Earlier we have full compatibility, there is no missing or there is no null values. But now at the right hand side, we are now getting 519. So we are getting 519 at this case. Now, we should get one null value as of now. That is, we will put 519 here and null value, a dash in the other side. So this is the new case. Okay, this one is the new case after 519 is inserted. Still effect is not taken up. So what we will do was we will insert few more records for understanding here. Two items. Because the earlier example, it fits only to the left outer join, not to the right outer join. So two more records are taken up, and now just verify it. So now you can see the right outer join is inserted at this point. That means the example here, it is still improved with two cases, that is 561 and 562. These are null because 561 and 562 are in my location, not in the student 3. So that's the reason why we got this answer. Now, in this way, we were talking about the joins, and finally let us look with the join, full outer join. So it holds both the left and right elements. There is no loss of data, there is no missing values. So you can interpret this answer. One, it is satisfying the left outer join, the things which are in the left are put this in the null value, and here you can see right outer join, the things which are towards the right hand side, the table was displayed. So that is the key takeaway when we are working with full outer join, left outer joins, etc. So this is the query result set, and we can bring up the query also for clear cut understanding in future. So we got this as full outer joins. So this is all from this exercise. So in this exercise, we went with joins, we went with set operators, and we went with views holistically with the student level examples for clear cut understanding. These are the key takeaways from the experiment number 4. So next coming up will be the experiment number 5. So in experiment number 5, we will work with conversion and aggregate functions, mathematical functions, date functions, and string functions. That will be a part of our next program. That's all for today. So thank you.